A road trip to the trail of 100 giants? Let me take you immediately from the parking lot to the trailhead for the Trail of 100 Giants at the Giant Sequoia National Monument in Sequoia National Forest. You'll find it in South Central California. You're getting the fast track for sure. These trees are massive, incredible, and a national treasure. Learn how we almost lost all of them in the fall of 2021. Also, I have to tell you, the trip from our campground near Inyokern through a vast array of flora and geology was half the experience. Not only on the way there, but on the way back, we appreciated the truly phenomenal drive. For those of you wanting to see these one-of-a-kind places or my armchair travelers, you will be impressed by the grove and thrilled you rode along with us. During this backroad excursion, we passed through a Joshua tree forest, mountain passes, quaint old towns, tourist trap towns, forest fire devastation, mountainside clinging roadways, and a crazy windstorm at Lake Isabella. Travel across America with me. There are a number of ways to approach this historic, amazing grove. We need to stay on the paved path to prevent damaging the sensitive ecosystem. Of course, this area is especially fragile now that it is recovering from the devastating windy fire of 2021. We travel through the fire-ravaged forest at the doorsteps and beyond of this treasured Trail of 100 Giants. Traveling through sunshine, rain showers, exceedingly high winds, 30-degree temperatures, and an alarm, climb on board to see these big boys up close. I had been wanting to go see these incredible specimens for years, but I knew that there was a seasonal issue due to the elevation, meaning that travel would be restricted between that time frame between late spring and early winter time. I also knew that this would be an all-day excursion. I really didn't know what we were in for. I'm going to take you immediately to this grove. As we walk along the trails, I will tell you about this incredible grove in the Sequoia National Monument. I do want to encourage you to stay with me for the fabulous journey through Kern River Valley on the way to and from this Trail of 100 Giants. I promise you, you will enjoy the ride. And you didn't have to pay for gas or be worried about driving off the side of the mountain. I do want to say that as we got closer to the grove and I saw acres and acres of devastation from a seemingly recent fire, I was exceedingly concerned about this grove. Much more on that after our hike. After parking at the sloping parking lot directly across from this incredible harbor for these intense trees, paid the required day use fee at the self-serve pay station. Now let's see these massive trees. This mountaintop trail is open dawn till dusk. The elevation is 6,400 feet. That's over a mile high. At each and every turn along the path, there are wonders to behold. The Trail of 100 Giants, located in the Long Meadow Grove, is a spectacular and accessible way to experience some of the most magnificent trees on Earth, the giant sequoias. This interpretive trail winds through a grove of these towering giants. The trail is easy for all visitors because it is relatively flat and paved. The Trail of 100 Giants is an easy 1.3-mile hike with several loop options. As you walk the trail, you will see giant sequoias of varying ages. Look around for seedlings and saplings growing among mature trees and ancient giants estimated to be 1,500 years old. Giant sequoias rarely grow alone in the wild and are found in groves. This trail travels through part of the Long Meadow Grove, which covers approximately 341 acres. The grove contains 125 giant sequoias greater than 10 feet in diameter. There are an estimated 700 giant sequoias less than 10 feet in diameter. The Sequoia National Forest, named for the world's largest trees, celebrates the greatest concentration of giant sequoia groves in the world. Protected within the Giant Sequoia National Monument, these groves and the areas around them are managed by the U.S. Forest Service. Contact the Western Divide Ranger District or the Kern River Ranger District in Kernville for needed details if you choose to visit. Online information is great, but nothing beats talking to a ranger or a member of the staff for that personal touch. The Giant Sequoia National Monument was created on April 15th in 2000 by presidential proclamation. The establishment of the monument called for careful management, protection, and preservation of all giant sequoia groves within the Sequoia National Forest, as well as other objects of interest identified in the proclamation. Giant sequoias are some of the oldest living trees. The oldest sequoias are over 3,000 years old. Giant sequoias are the largest, most massive trees in the world. Today, the only place in the world where giant sequoias are found growing in the wild is in California on the western slopes of the Sierra Nevada. 33 of the sequoia groves are within this monument's boundaries. This giant sequoia is about 2,000 years old, 245 feet tall, 62 feet around, and 18 feet in diameter. Wildfires caused the burn scars hundreds of years ago. This is really an interesting thing. The word sequoia is the only word containing all 5 vowels, A-E-I-O-U. One of the most exciting aspects of the Trail of 100 Giants is its close-up view of these ancient trees. These are among the largest living organisms by volume, and walking beneath them gives a sense of awe and perspective that's hard to match. Long Meadow Grove is especially notable for its variety of sequoia groupings. Some trees stand alone while others form tight clusters with intertwining roots, showcasing the community-like nature of sequoia ecosystems. In 2011, a major event brought new attention to the trail when 2 massive sequoias fell across it, creating a dramatic natural exhibit. The fallen giants caused no injuries, but required a partial reroute of the trail. Today, visitors can see the toppled trees up close, offering a rare look at the interior of the giant sequoia. The grove is also a haven for wildlife, including mule deer, black bears, and a variety of birds. Its serene beauty and relatively low foot traffic, compared to more famous sequoia groves, makes it a peaceful retreat. These giant sequoias grow naturally on the west side of the Sierra Nevada range, between 4,500 and 7,000 feet in elevation. They grow from the Tahoe Basin to the Sequoia National Forest in a narrow strip 20 miles wide and 269 miles long. And these sequoias, they thrive on cool weather and lots of water. You will not only see sequoias, but a variety of other pines growing alongside the presumed stars of the show, like this sugar pine, which is among the tallest of the pines. They can reach a height of 200 feet, live for over 400 years, and produce 16 to 24-inch long cones. At one time, this large limb was attached to the giant sequoia on the other side of the path. It broke off and buried itself 15 feet into the earth. That's impaling itself in the ground. Glad there wasn't anyone around. As you walk along the gentle trail, you will be surrounded by these towering giants, their massive trunks stretching upwards towards the sky. The sheer scale of these natural wonders is awe-inspiring. In addition to its natural beauty and cultural significance, the Trail of 100 Giants has also played a significant role in the preservation of the sequoia ecosystem. In the early 20th century, the U.S. Forest Service began to restore this grove, which had been damaged by logging and human activity. Today, the area serves as a prime example of responsible forest management and conservation efforts. We will see the ravages of forest fires after we finish our hike. These 3 giant sequoias grew together, creating a secret cavern in the middle. Together, all 3 trees measure 50 feet in circumference and stand over 228 feet tall. Their lowest limbs are 20 to 30 feet above the ground, which helps the sequoias survive a wildfire. In contrast, the other conifer limbs hang close to the ground and will ignite quickly during a fire. Removing low-hanging limbs, clearing ground litter, and opening up the forest canopy helps prevent high-severity wildfires. Across the meadow is an ancient sequoia, 225 feet tall and 20 feet wide. The tree was ravaged by both fire and lightning. Note, the top is missing due to a lightning strike. There are so many signs with so much information. You can stop and read them all for yourselves. This one was super interesting. This is an example of neutralism, symbiotic relationship between an incense cedar on the left and a giant cedar on the right. Both trees maintain separate nutrient systems and do not depend on each other for survival. You can see the difference between the bark and the foliage of each tree. The Trail of 100 Giants was conceived by 2 Forest Service employees. Many others have worked hard to keep this trail and keep these trees protected. Thank you. Around 1,800 years ago, 2 tiny giant sequoia seeds buried themselves in the earth and created this beautiful sight. Look up into the trees. You might see hundreds of small cones hanging in clusters like grapes. The cones will stay on a tree for, get this, for 20 years unless knocked out by wind or squirrels. Each cone contains an estimated 200 seeds and the size of a piece of oatmeal. I wonder what these trees have heard and seen over the past centuries. During a heavy rainstorm in the 1800s, this giant sequoia fell because the streams running alongside it had eroded the soil surrounding the roots. It's been dead for over 200 years. It has not decomposed like the other dead conifers on the ground. Why? Because the giant sequoias contain a natural preservative called tannin, which slows down the decomposition process, gives the tree its rich red color, heals fire scars and other wounds caused by insects or animals. Overall, the Trail of 100 Giants is more than just a hike. It's an encounter with living history. Whether you're a casual walker, a nature photographer, or student of natural history, this trail offers a rare and moving opportunity to stand among some of the oldest and largest living things on Earth. The trail's relatively short length and gentle terrain make it suitable for visitors of all ages and fitness levels. It is a perfect family outing. Your cell phone service may be spotty or non-existent, and you might want to plan on layers of clothing. Mountain weather can shift quickly, as you will see on our drive. Mornings can be chilly, even in the summer. My hands were almost frozen as I was busy taking photographs and videos for you for this video. Before we headed back down the mountain, I had to warm up my hands. Then we shared the Orange Dreamsicle soda from Indian Wells Brewing Company. You will want to watch my recent video on our backroad adventure to the Trona Pinnacles, a popular movie and advertising location in the Mojave Desert. Remember, the Voyage was an adventure in itself. You will find the grove along the Western Divide Highway. That's M107. Now, as we approach the fire-devastated area, here's a little information about how the Trail of 100 Giants was affected. The Windy Fire started on September 9th, 2021, due to lightning on the Tool River Indian Reservation during a late evening thunderstorm. The fire burned for over 3 months, but was declared 100% contained on December 16, 2021, after significant precipitation events. The Trail of 100 Giants eventually reopened on May 10, 2022, after forest officials prepared for the upcoming California wildfire season. One of the boardwalks on the Trail of 100 Giants was also destroyed during the fire. In total, the National Park Service report estimated that the Windy Fire killed between 931 and 1,257 large sequoias, defined as those over 4 feet in diameter. The estimate includes the sequoias killed outright, as well as those expected to die in the 3 to 5 years following the fire. Assessments suggest that 13 to 19% of the world's large sequoia population was lost in just 3 fires, those being the Castle, the Windy, and the K&P Complex fires of 2021. The firefighters prepared this grove in advance of the Windy Fire's arrival, at times pumping 20,000 gallons of water per day onto the trees via dozens of sprinklers. In concert with past fuel reduction efforts near the Trail of 100 Giants, these measures ensured the heart of Longmeadow Grove, which is 560 acres, received less damage. At least 29 giant sequoias were incinerated elsewhere in the grove. As we were taking our trek down, back through this major fire devastation, the rain was a paradoxical sort of weather event. Aren't you glad that no more of the grove was damaged than it was? These are part of our national treasure that we should all value. The Windy Fire was the 8th largest fire of California's 2021 wildfire season. dusty, worn out, ugly shoes on the ground on Classic Road Trip. Please subscribe. Check out my National and State Parks playlist and the Hikes and Byways playlist for more similar adventures. Tell a friend about my channel.